Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I think my name has been mentioned sufficient number of times that I don't need to repeat it. Before I became the Director of International Relations at GCEL, I was the Director General for Public Affairs and Communications in the OECD, and before that the Research Director responsible for territorial and regional development. And I'm also a professor at the Institut des Études Politiques, or Sciences Po, as it's known in France, where I teach economics. Our delegation is greatly honoured to be here with the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, and especially in Vietnam. I may say so because it's my first visit to Vietnam. And our special thanks go to Dr. Doan for his gracious invitation. Thank you very much, sir, for inviting us. My purpose this evening is to introduce GCEL and its HumaWealth program. GCEL is a non-profit public-private partnership, and it's based in Geneva in Switzerland. We bring together more than 30 governments and 13 NGOs, with members and supporters who include illustrious organisations such as the United Nations and the OECD, as well as many prominent finance, insurance and technology companies, which collectively represent some 2.7 billion employees or manpower and service roughly 60% of the world's GDP. I don't wish to dwell on the economic circumstances of the past, but I think it's clear to all of us that the solution to building a prosperous future and strong economic growth lies in stimulating entrepreneurship and innovation, and doing that in the private sector. In this way, all companies, and especially small and medium-sized companies, will benefit. But we need to do this in a way which helps them reach new international markets and to integrate into world trade. That is the key to future economic growth. Our mission, the GCEL mission, is to deliver a 20th century pipeline for global commerce and to provide a roadmap and the tools to reduce trade costs. To reduce trade costs by up to 30%, and to reduce operating costs by some 15%. And we intend to do this in a way which is open and fair to all regions of the world and to all firms regardless of their size. The problem is a fundamental one, but largely ignored. Most companies lack the 21st century soft infrastructure they need to compete and succeed. And these words were very accurately opposed by the Deputy Governor of the Indonesian Central Bank during, and I quote what he said: "The physical infrastructure of roads, ports and bridges are important, but they are not enough. It is necessary to improve our logistics systems by maximising the software that involves technology." And here I think we could learn from Singapore about the importance of technology in our economy. The world, indeed the nature of the trade process, has changed. The information associated with the shipment of goods has taken on much greater importance. Just consider for one moment how we could help ASEAN businesses if we could improve their access to information. The question is where to start and at what cost. By deploying GCEL's HumaWealth soft infrastructure, we can connect the strength of that ASEAN at no cost to the end user, maximising the capacity utilisation of present physical logistical infrastructure, and through a self-monitoring dynamic system, prioritise and attract new physical infrastructure and investment. Well, of course, ASEAN countries, in some senses, have been leaders in this field. ASEAN countries are pioneers in launching the regional single window in support of the national single windows adopted in each country in ASEAN. And as we all know, the Single Window Initiative focuses mainly on goods clearance. The World Bank, through its Logistics Performance Index, used 7 elements to assess logistics efficiency. And goods clearance is but one of the 7. To give an example of some of the other elements, they include integration, e-documentation, and the tracking and visibility issues, which we all know are of critical importance. Much to learn from Singapore. The HumaWealth software initiative will enhance all 7 of the criteria used by the World Bank. And this will be done through technology which will be delivered at no cost, as I've said, to the end user. This will be deployed by the largest and the most trusted finance, insurance and technology network of the world in a way which offsets both geopolitical and monopolistic concerns. Our soft infrastructure was recognised by the International Trade Centre during the 8th trade event in Cambodia as the global single window. The soft infrastructure includes more than 150 features not presently available, and it provides, in a summary sense, real-time sharing of information and new operating tool sets, providing all along the supply chain in such a way that it would give ASEAN firms the ability to operate much more efficiently. It would allow them to connect with customers elsewhere in the world very quickly and reliably. It will provide dynamic, real-time information which would make businesses, especially SMEs, much more bankable, since costs would drop, profits would rise, and risks would decrease. GCEL at the moment is in the process of deploying the 21st century pipeline for global commerce that ASEAN businesses will need in order to prosper in the future. The first is a global logistics system, an open platform information system that provides non-intrusive integration of existing systems, yet allowing the seamless sharing of critical business and trade information with a minimum of standardization. This path-breaking technology will be made available to businesses at no cost to them. I repeat, at no cost to them. It has been tested and proven in an important demonstration project over one of the world's busiest trade corridors, that between the United States of America and Canada, involving one of our most complex supply chains, that of the automotive industry. Secondly, we will put in place a global deployment network. Just as important as technology is the network of world-class companies to deploy it. To enhance global acceptance, this network must be carefully balanced to address geopolitical and monopolistic concerns. GCEL's network of finance, insurance and technology companies in all corners of the world is designed precisely for this reason. This initiative creates vast new markets, and we estimate that by the year 2020, for the service industries, a $5 trillion market will be created for banks, a $600 billion new market for the world's insurers, and a $400 billion market for technology companies. And thirdly, because the proof is always in the pudding, a rapid deployment program. Because the global economy is held together by trade, the final element is a well-designed program to deploy the system quickly and to deploy it around the world. In 18 months, GCEL's HumaWealth program will do just that through 4 initial trade lanes, one in Asia, one in the Americas, one in Europe, and one in the Middle East and Africa. And these will provide us with the ability to benchmark the benefits for firms around the world. In addition, GCEL's public and private members will be working together to speed deployment, each doing what they do best. last but not least, every business on the planet will be able to use this system for free. If Yahoo and Google have proved anything, I suppose it's that if something wants to be genuinely global, it really does help that it's free. But how will these finance, insurance companies and IT companies be chosen? As I have emphasised, GCEL is committed to an open, transparent process of tendering, which is fair to all companies and to all countries. It must be a genuinely global programme. Therefore, the 28 participating countries will each come from 28 different nations, 7 from each of the 4 regions which I have indicated across the world. So that means that each region gets 7 participating countries, each from different countries. But of course there is the possibility that this could be more, because businesses have the possibility of entering into joint ventures between companies. This winter, GCEL's member organisations' chief executive officers, representing their 2.7 million manpower, servicing about 60% of world GDP, from finance, from insurance and from technology, will be in Geneva to participate in the transparent selection of the deployment network. This network will over time have access to a $6 trillion market opportunity from ASEAN. We are making sure that ASEAN finance, insurance and technology firms are aware of this opportunity. We have conducted awareness events in Jakarta with Kadin and the Central Bank, and we are planning together awareness events in Malaysia, Singapore and Thailand in partnership with officials from these countries. The above also corresponds with the ASEAN service industry strategy, planning for the future, reaching beyond ASEAN borders for finance, technology and insurance industries. How to maximise the soft infrastructure delivering a tangible economic plan and tangible economic results.